Hey everybody, what's happening? Son of a silver stacker here. In today's numismatic news and information for the 6th day of November 2022, I'd like to welcome you over to APMEX so we can check out where those spot prices ended the week on Friday. Also, I'd like to welcome you over to a good morning to you with Tiny Numismatics. That's going to be 9:30 tomorrow. That's Monday morning. So also don't forget, remember to set your clocks back. Now let's head over here to APMEX. So gold ended the week at $16.93. It popped up $54.80. Silver also popped almost 8%, up $1.49 to $21.18. Platinum up $43.60 to $983.70, and Palladium was up $60.90 to $1,900 even Steven. So you might be asking yourself, what happened on Friday? Why did gold, silver, platinum, and palladium? Why did these precious metals all go up? And I imagine come Monday or Tuesday, these will probably go down. Somebody's going to be taking some profits on Monday. Well, let's go here to the Google machine and try and explain what's happening. And I'm also going to try and explain the premium on the gold and silver. And I think it has something partially not only to do with demand, because you know demand is really just amazing right now and the inventories are very low, but at the same time, inflation, the dollar, all of that really is probably has something to do with that premium also. So here we are at the Google machine. We looked up dollar, and it says here, this is one day, whoops, I'm out of control here. One day ago, dollar drops as U.S. non-farm payrolls show mixed results. Dollar drops. U.S. dollar index sees sharpest drop since 2020 as China rumors swirl. Now, it doesn't say what if it was March, April, May, June, July, or August, what season, doesn't say there, but sharpest drop since 2020. Now, that's incredible, folks. Now, that's a really important thing. And it correlates to what I was talking about on Friday's video. And I wanted to share this again. I did have this on Friday. Bellevue Rare Coins had this. It was dated August 30, 2022 by Austin Meadows. Has what is a strong dollar? Why is the dollar so strong right now? What are the effects of a strong dollar? Here we go. This is the most important thing I wanted to share with you. And this could have something to do with why premiums are where they're at, okay? And I'll show you the premiums now. They're not getting any better, folks. Strong dollar and gold, what it means for precious metals. Now, the relationship between precious metals and the dollar is complex, but there's some common trends that are simple enough to explain, and they are easily visible from just reading the news, folks. Really easy. Generally speaking, a strong dollar tends to lead to declining gold and silver prices. The main reason for this is a decrease in foreign demand. Now, we know that foreign demand right now, well, is off the charts. Remember, we had a huge whale buying 300 tons of gold, and nobody said anything. That didn't really affect the market, really huge. They didn't report the sales. So, and India, they're buying tremendous amounts of silver right now. Yeah, so there's a tremendous increase in foreign demand. But are the prices going up? Well, not for us here in the United States. Remember that. Gold is typically priced in U.S. dollars, and the worldwide benchmark gold price is typically also in U.S. dollars. However, the vast majority of the world's citizens don't earn U.S. dollars. They earn their own home country's currency. That's right. They earn rupees, yuan, yen, the pound, and even euros, right? Now, as such, when the value of the dollar increases, the cost of buying gold increases for foreign investors. There you go. Consider an example for an investor who earns euros, okay? Now, 1 year ago, an ounce of gold cost around 14.89 in euros. Today, it costs 16.59. That's an increase of 200 euros, okay? That's quite a bit of money. During the same time, the United States dollar price of gold actually decreased from 17.50 to 16.50. Yikes. So they lost $100 there, increased 200 euros there. Now think about that, folks. This is important. In other words, for U.S. investors, gold is around 6% cheaper than it was last year. For European investors, it costs 11% more than it did last year. Yikes. So 6% less expensive in the United States because of a strong dollar, and 11% more expensive in the Eurozone because, well, their money's not as valuable, or the stronger dollar. This leads to decreased demand from foreign investors, which leads to lower gold prices. In general, more demand equals higher prices. So we know that there's increased demand from foreign investors, which hasn't really had too much of an effect on our price. But I imagine, it would be interesting to find out what the price of gold is in dollars in these foreign countries, not just what it is in the United States. And I think that would give us a better perspective on what's going on. So check this out. Here we are at JM Bullion. This is tremendous amount of just premiums, just incredible premiums we're paying right now. So here we are at the 2021 1 ounce American Silver Eagle, and we know that the United States Mint made a pretty substantial delivery here in October, and in November we haven't got any new numbers, even though what was it, the 4th, I believe, on Friday. So we had 3 days of November, no reported sales for November. So let's get back to the American Silver Eagle. Now we see here, if you have an e-check wire, you're going to spend $41 per up to 19. And if you have credit card or PayPal, you're going to spend $21 premium for that. Now, what percentage of that premium is because of the strong dollar? Okay. And I mean, let's face it, if you are in a foreign country, you would probably love to buy silver. And even here in the United States, you would probably love to buy silver at 21.18. So what is the price of silver in these foreign countries? If it's going to be that ratio that we saw on that article that I showed you. So foreign countries are still buying all these precious metals, even though it's more expensive for them. And what does that mean for us? Should we be buying it too? Because what happens when the dollar finally does, well, do some kind of spiral where it doesn't get back its world reserve currency spot? I would imagine that these four items are going to go parabolic. Parabolic. Yes, I said it right there. And that's my opinion, and I'm welcome to it. Thank you. Now let's keep on keeping on, because there's another story I wanted to show you about CBDCs that is just off the charts. Yep, indeed. So there's the U.S. Mint sales for bullion, and here we go. And what percentage of Americans own gold and silver? How many people are going to miss the bus when this thing does finally pop? It says here more Americans own silver than gold. Gold IRA, and this was done, I think, in 2020, so it probably has increased since then, I would hope. It says their Gold IRA Guide conducted a survey that included 1,500 respondents ranging in age from 18 to 65 and older. The primary purpose was to learn more about gold and silver ownership in the United States. Among those questions who said they owned one or both of these precious metals, more said they owned silver. In total, 11.6% of respondents said they owned silver. For gold, it was 10.8%. As for why silver is a bit more popular among Americans, price is one of the main reasons. Silver is generally more affordable than gold and in physical form. So yeah, there it is. But remember this. Now, which one has more upside? So if silver, let's say these go, just, me personally, I think silver has way more upside than gold. And let's say you buy your gold at, $2,000 an ounce, and it goes up pretty decently, doubles. But what about silver? Couldn't it more than double? Couldn't it triple or quadruple or quintuple? I would think so. But that's just like my opinion. I said that before. Now let's get over here to that CBDC stuff. This is incredible, folks. Really incredible. So on Friday, the Federal Reserve, the New York Federal Reserve, released results of their wholesale CBDC research. Okay. And you might want to know, what is wCBDC? I'm sorry. wCBDC? Well, wholesale CBDCs are a little different than your regular CBDCs. They're intended to improve the payments infrastructure, which means they have a predefined user base of institutions involved in payments like banks, clearing institutions, and other payment providers. They're not retail banks. So that's the wholesale stuff. That's big time deals. Now let's go over here. This is going to explain it. This is Cointelegraph, The Future of Money by Derek Anderson, and it was November 4. Okay, this is just recent news, folks. This is a big deal. FX spot settlement in 10 seconds. What? Yeah, this is off the charts. And if you had, and if you were doing foreign exchange transactions, you would want this implemented immediately. All right. New York Fed releases results of wholesale CBD research. Project Cedar successfully used custom distributed ledger technology to settle hypothetical transactions quickly from the perspective of the Federal Reserve. This is a big deal, folks. The Federal Reserve Bank of New York's Innovation Center released a report on the first phase of its Project Cedar wholesale central bank digital currency, that's the wCBDC, on November 4. The Fed still has no plans to issue a CBDC. Yeah, that's well, I would imagine that's coming quickly, though. That's probably going to change. New York Fed Executive Vice President and Head of Markets Michelle Neal said in a presentation in Singapore, but it has investigated foreign exchange spot settlement. So maybe they implement the foreign exchange CBDC first before they do a retail one. Yeah. Now it says here it's prototype wCBDC, intended for use by financial institutions rather than by the public, was able to implement transactions dramatically faster and more securely than the current standard. And wouldn't it make sense that the bankers would get their stuff and their act together before they implemented a retail one? Absolutely. Absolutely. A foreign exchange spot transaction was chosen as the use case for the 12-week first phase. So they've already been doing this for months now. Project Cedar, because of its relative simplicity and the fact that this type of transaction is often used as part of a broader, more complex transactions. Okay. It also represents a market with $7 trillion in daily turnover, with less than 40% of it settled on a payment versus payment basis in transaction, typically taking 2 days. Yeah. So if you have that much money, 7 trillion in the float taking 2 days, and you can actually, well, check this out. This is the test project results from the experiment revealed that the blockchain-enabled payment system settles transactions in fewer than 10 seconds, folks. So if they can do 10 seconds compared to 2 days, I would say the people behind this are going to be like, implement this immediately. Now, you know what I'm saying? This is something that's huge, okay? Fewer than 10 seconds on average, and that throughput across the system increases as additional currencies are included. That's incredible, folks. Project Cedar used a specifically designed distributed ledger to carry out transactions between different currencies on different ledgers. What? So that means there's some operational stuff going on there. What? That's wild. It was permissioned blockchain network with an upspent transaction data output model. In test scenarios, foreign exchange spot trades were automatically settled. That is simultaneously, or else the transaction fails. That's an atomic transaction right there. Atomically settled. It's either all or nothing. In under 10 seconds, with throughput increasing as the number of currencies increase. This is incredible, folks. Wow. Director of the NY Fed Innovation Center, Per Von Zelowitz, said in a statement, Project Cedar Phase 1 revealed promising applications of blockchain technology in modernizing critical payments infrastructure, and our inaugural experiment provides a strategic launchpad for further research and development regarding the future of money and payments from U.S. perspective. That's huge, folks. Check this out, though. The New York Fed Innovation Center was established in 2021. Project Cedar complements the Boston Fed's work on a retail CBDC and Project Hamilton, being conducted in conjunction with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology Digital Currency Initiative. Yep, they're already working on it, folks, and they're working on it concurrently. That project released its first results in February. CBDC research is being actively pursued by the vast majority of central banks worldwide. It's not if, it's when, folks. It's not if, it's when. And there is Bank for International Settlements. That's a wCBDC. There's a New York Fed article. I'm going to leave that here. It's got all the great information. And if you're also interested in the Project Hamilton Phase 1 executive summary, I'll leave that in the link or description as well. Now, let's get on for the plus ones today. Got a lot of cool stuff there. Why do melons have weddings? Well, because they cantaloupe. That's right. That's why melons have weddings. Now, Kobe Bryant said this. Great things come from hard work and perseverance. No excuses. That's right. Love that. And over here, bam. This is 39's Fine, 99.9 KOIN, Coin News Radio. This is Led Zeppelin, and it's Thank You, and with lyrics on the screen, and it's dedicated to mi esposa. There we go, folks. So I want to thank you all for listening. Thank you for dropping by. I think I blew that, didn't I? Thanks for watching. Thanks for dropping by. And don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you hear and see, please subscribe to the channel. It's free. Son of a Silver Stacker. Out.